So we also have, why did they do a press conference on the day on his birthday? I mean, come on, did they know him? Did they not? I mean, come on, play your hand a little bit here. I mean, come on. That's what I'm saying with you guys, because law enforcement is doing whatever, I guess. We don't know what they're doing. We don't understand it. Our patience run low. But I think everybody knows that is on here that's at least civil and civilized and sensible. If you look at the facts, fuck all the dumb shit. You know, I've got texts of Dylan saying they did it, but you know, Dennis could be doing that because he knew his time was getting short. So to throw it off, Dennis might have found out that Dylan was talking to two girls. Dennis said, "Hey, you don't need to be out there with these young girls. You're going to get yourself into trouble." And he goes out there and tells the girls, like he's going to tell them, you know, you guys ain't supposed to be out here, you know, and all this. So he uses his authority, the badge, the gun, get down the hill, gets them down the hill. One of them maybe takes off running. He goes in after the water to grab her, to hold and tell the other girl to come back. The other girl comes back. He says, you know, we're already halfway across the river, you know, might as well walk over if he was going to do that anyway, to throw off the scent. You know, I don't know. And Nancy brought up, you know, that what if he choked them and then cut their throats and stabbed them? There would be less blood. Was they really by water? And all these people showing these videos about the girls laying by the water. Man, I hate that. I'd punch a motherfucker for doing some shit like that. I'd find out where that IP number is. Whoever, I'd be beating asses until I find out who the fuck put in pictures of Abby and Libby out there in a fucking casket. Man, I'd beat the fuck out of somebody. They did that in my kid. I would get a hold of fucking YouTube and take that off, man. I mean, I'm not saying it ain't my place, but me personally, I'm offended by the GIF of Dennis that's out there. That gives him fucking, take that motherfucker down. We've already found out who he is. You know, I want that taken down whenever it's all said and done. I can't do it right now because I can't prove that it's him, but I'm gonna have that taken down. I don't want no fucking fame of him like that. I mean, I can't stop the books, I can't stop the movies, I can't stop the fucking you know, whatever, the shirts and the fucking other stuff, you know. But what I can stop is what I see and around me, and if I can fucking say something about it, I'm gonna say it, you know. But so Dylan's in the car. The girls and him are over there, and now this is the thing. We don't know if he left with the girls, but what I've gotten from Ypsilanti, Michigan, in the child murders, alphabet murders, because Double B, Abby, Libby, Collins, and Cook in Evansdale, double letters, okay, and just like a lot of the other double letter, but he changes his MO because there's a child shoe tree killer. He took me, and there's a picture of my son that somebody sent me where Dennis went again with Dylan and about 3 or 4 other kids by the shoe tree. People didn't know that they was going out there, and that's where he's been throwing fucking shoes up in the tree, because I've done my fucking research, let me tell you. So we have the Cherry Mahan murder, and then we have the blue coat with the guy that had hands in his pocket, you know. We got the Ypsilanti, Michigan co-ed murders where 3 guys and one was on a motorcycle. Dennis and his brothers traveled from Sacramento to Rochester to everywhere, Michigan, and they was bad boys and were part of the Kingston family on the Lifetime channel, Escaping Polygamy. Our Porter family started the town Porter County, Indiana, Couts, K-O-U-T-S, okay, Michigan City, Indiana. My uncle was murdered 5 days before I was born, Jeffrey Allen Harmon, and the guy that went to prison for it for 46 years now that I've wrote says he didn't do it, Roger Allen Jaske, J-A-S-K-E, and he says that there's some things that he wants to talk about and he can't say over the phone or over a letter, because people might be watching him, because soldiers of misfortune, if you go Google that, there's a guy that wrote a book about him and 9 other guys, military guys, some of them, a lot of them was, and mercenaries. They was going to break Roger out of prison, and Roger had something to do with an organization. So you'll have to look at his transcripts, courts of Jeffrey, and where he went to jail for Jeffrey's murder. My uncle, that might be my dad, that Dennis might have killed, that Jeffrey was selling drugs for somebody in some kind of organization, maybe, or some gang, but he was selling drugs, maybe the same gang as Dennis. Dennis, I've heard, and his brothers killed Jeffrey for something he might have known, something he might have not agreed with, like me, and so he wanted him dead. He killed them 2 girls over little or shit. So, okay, well, for no reason, the girls, just out of anger. I'm sorry, Abby and Libby. We look at Linda Weldy, that was up in LaPorte, Michigan City, where Dennis, lived, and Dennis threw my mom down the stairs. So maybe my uncle was my dad. I look a lot like him. I look a little more. I ain't got his nose. I look nothing like Dennis. I act nothing like Dennis. It's just a thought. He was stabbed 19 times. Rogers, the ME says that 30 minutes after Jeffrey had his spleen ruptured, then he died. Well, and was stabbed. Maybe for the initiation part, Roger was supposed to go out there and fucking get Jeffrey and initiated into the group, and Dennis went back out there after he was already tied to the tree and stabbed him. And that's when Roger, retracked his story and said, well, yeah, I did go back out there. I did, but he didn't go back out there. There's a lot of things we don't know. Okay, and Roger Allen Jask was, his back window was shot out, he says, with his parents when they was going to the Grand Ole Opry by some Harmon boys. And he later says that he followed the Harmons into Delphi. So Dennis was born in Elston, not in Kittanning, as they put on his obituary to try to hide that he was close to Delphi. And and they did a press conference, Delphi did, on the day of his birthday.